Hello, and thank you for joining us. We're scheduled to begin at 5 o'clock, but it looks like we have a few registrants who are still logging in. So I'm going to wait another minute or two while they connect just before we get started.
Okay, go. One.
All right, just going to give it another minute. Looks like we still have a few more who are logging in. Okay, I think most people have connected at this point, so I am going to get started since we're just after 5 o'clock. So wanted to say hello and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Cheryl Bachunas, Assistant Director of Admissions here at Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. And here with me, I have Francis Keish, who's the Dean of School of Medical Imaging and Therapeutics, and Keith Hirsch, who's Associate Professor and Program Director of the Respiratory Therapy School of Medical Imaging and Therapeutics. I'm going to turn it over to them to let them introduce themselves.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name, as mentioned, is Dr. Francis Keach. I am the director or dean, actually, of the School of Medical Imaging and Therapeutics at the university. I have been at Mass College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences since 2000, the year 2000, initially serving as director of the nuclear medicine program. We have a number of programs under the wing of medical imaging and therapeutics. And we're very proud of our respiratory care program and our first program director, Keith Hurst. Keith?
Hey, thank you. My name is Keith Hurst. I've been a respiratory therapist for over 25 years and primarily worked in adult, pediatric, and neonatal critical care. I've also been a manager of a department, and I've taught at the associate bachelor's and master's level program. I've been at Mass College for just around a year or just under a year. However, I've been involved with the program really since its initiation, back when we were just the advisory board discussing about this. So I've really been part of the development of this particular program really from the get-go. In addition to my teaching and managing, I've published and presented a lot of my research at international meetings, such as the AARC Congress. I'm also very involved with the Massachusetts Society of Respiratory Care, along with the AARC, serving in the House of Delegates and some other AARC committees. And I've been also inducted recently as a fellow of the AARC. So thank you very much, and look forward to talking to you more about our program.
Thank you both for that introduction. I'm going to go over to the next slide. So thank you again for that introduction, and we're pleased to be here today to present our university's offering through the School of Medical Imaging and Therapeutics. During this webinar, we'll discuss information about our college, the online experience, the Bachelor's of Science in Respiratory Therapy program, the curriculum, how to apply, and we'll end with the Q&A to cover any additional questions you may have. If you do have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to leave them in the Q&A box, which is in the corner of your screen, for us to answer after the presentation. Also, this webinar is being recorded. If you miss anything or need to log out before the end, not to worry, I will be sending you the recording to anyone who has been registered. Okay, let's get started.
All right. So what's the goal or mission of the program? So the goal and mission of the Bachelor of Science Respiratory Therapy degree completion program is really to prepare respiratory therapists to have an Associates of Science to advance clinical professional practice through an interdisciplinary curriculum that incorporates research, critical analysis, and evidence-based approaches. I'd like to also note, we are also seeking COARC accreditation at this time. We have submitted our letter of intent back in September that had been approved. And so now we're in the process of doing a self-study. And so we're really hoping that by the end of this year, we will be have provisional accreditation for the program. And why do we want to do this? Well, it's very important for us. We felt that this would make sure that we were providing the same level of instruction as if you were in an in-person class, because we're being accredited by COARC. All the programs accredited by COARC are held to a very high standard, and we want to make sure that our graduates are held to that or a higher standard, and the same outcomes as if you went to any other program. Okay, next slide. So probably a lot of you asking is, why should you get your BSRT? And you know, which is a great question. And so there's a lot of benefits to receiving your BS in respiratory therapy. First of all, the ARC has established that the BSRT is the preferred entry into the profession beginning in 2030. In addition, it allows you to enter the field with additional knowledge, skills, and attributes, or KSAs, in leadership, management, education, research, or advanced clinical practice. And that will really enable you to meet your professional goals and prepare you as an advanced degree respiratory therapist. It allows you to elevate your profession, not only at the bedside, but also wherever you want to go. In terms of career advancement opportunities, you know, you can get into education, you can get into management or leadership opportunities, and you know, if you're interested in, you know, want to become a master's, then this is really your next step. And it also affords an increase in salary potential. And so, you know, as being, you know, being in healthcare, it's really a great field to be in. In a recent report put out by US Wellness Report, healthcare ranked among the largest employees in the US, and respiratory therapy was actually ranked the number 20th job in the healthcare industry. Typically, therapists that go on and earn their BSRT have an increase on average of 45% from their associate's to bachelor's degree. This was noted in the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics in 2004. It also means that it's a little bit better financial stability. Most BSRTs have a mean annual wage of about $84,000 a year. So think about what you're doing now and potentially bump that up. And lastly, Mass College of Pharmacy is ranked the third best institution for economic value in the US for students. So that means your return on investment is very, very strong. And while we recognize that returning to school is an investment in both time and money, and based on the current job outlook, the quality of education that Mass College will provide you, we believe this can be a good investment of your resources.
Also, did you know MSPCH is a healthcare specific university offering over 100 programs in different health science fields. The university itself has been around for a long time, and we actually just celebrated our 200th year anniversary last year. What started as just a pharmacy program in Boston, MCPHS, has grown to incorporate over 7,500 diverse students between our 3 campuses, which is in Boston, Worcester, Massachusetts, Manchester, New Hampshire, and our online branch, which we are focusing on tonight. We are also proud to be a teaching university, and healthcare is our specialty. Many of our faculty are still working in the healthcare field while also teaching. So they are well versed in the course material and are constantly staying up to date with the current healthcare system. And as Keith mentioned, MCPHS is an excellent choice with a strong return of investment, with recent acknowledgments for being in the top 5 for the most transformative colleges in the US, and also earned top ranking for the highest paid bachelor's degree for allied health professional graduates in the New England area. We introduced our online branch in 2011. Now we offer 35 online programs here at MPCHS and have over 500 students studying with our online nationwide. Our online programs are flexible, giving you the freedom to continue to work and living your life while going to school. And although the programs may be online, our students have access to the same resources as our on-campus students do. So you have access to the faculty advisors, tutoring, or CASE, as we refer to it here in our campus, which is the Center for Academic Success and Enrichment, career services, our online library, counseling services, and networking, which I highly recommend to tap into our global network of over 32,000 alumni. Some highlights about our Bachelor's in Science of Respiratory Therapy program, Keith is going to discuss further.
Yep. So as I mentioned earlier, it is the preferred degree according to the American Association of Respiratory Care. And we are, as I mentioned, we also are seeking accreditation. So our program and our students are held to a higher outcome. So our program is designed to be completed either full-time or part-time, and it gives you the flexibility to still work and go to school. Okay, the option of taking 1 to 4 courses per semester and finish the program in 1 year if you want to go full time, or up to 4 years if you really wanted to drag your feet and spread it out over time. We offer 3 different start dates in the fall, spring, and summer. It allows you to really start whenever is most convenient for you. In totality, you have to take a total of 36 credit hours, and we accept up to 60 students per year. Because our program is very flexible, all the courses are done completely asynchronous. And what that means is the materials presented at the beginning of the week, and you'll have different times throughout the week where you may have to reply to a discussion post and then maybe respond to another one. But essentially, you can access the material whenever you want. So if you have a break, you work nights, you've got a break at 2 o'clock in the morning, you could hop on and listen to some material, some content, post something, follow up with something, or anything like that. In terms of the amount of time you're going to put into it, students spend roughly about 3 hours per credit for each week. So roughly a 3-credit course is somewhere between 6 to 9 hours you will put into it, it's almost similar as if you're going if you are on campus as well. Unlike your entry where you probably had a lot more exams, we don't focus so much on exams anymore. There will be some exams and maybe some quizzes, but we focus more on projects, papers, discussion boards, and then lastly, kind of wrapping it up with a capstone, that you would take at the end, just to kind of tie everything together. Francis, you're on mute.
Yes, it is. Thank you very much. I was sitting here looking at the slides and how wonderful they were. It's the program itself is 120 credits for a BSRT degree. So it's a completion program with your associate's degree from your entry-level program. We accept 72 credits. We can actually, if you have less than 72 credits, we can actually put in additional courses into your program to bring it up to the 72 credits. We also accept your RRT credential and actually convert that into 12 credits. That means the actual BSRT completion program is 36 credits of sort of curriculum. So you get a lot of information from a lot of credits actually from your associate's degree and your credential as well, meaning that you only need to complete 36 credits total at MCPHS.
Okay, so let's talk about the curriculum a little bit and some of the courses you'll be taking. So what is listed here is all the courses that you will be required to take as part of your BSRT program. You can take the courses in really any order you want. You can take them when they're offered. You can, wait until something comes up and take it again. There's only two caveats. The first one is that your first semester, we require all students to take RES 440, which is Advanced Cardiopulmonary Physiology for the respiratory care. And then the last one you take after you've completed all the other respiratory courses is RES 490, which is the respiratory capstone. Okay. And so that kind of is what you'll be taking. Again, you can spread that out over 2-3 years, or you can compact it and do it all in 1 year if you had the time and luxury to do that. Cheryl, can you go to the next slide? There are 2 required courses which Mass College requires. First is LIB 220, which is Intro to Interpersonal Communication for a Healthcare Professional, and LIB 512, which is Healthcare Ethics. Just to note, if you have taken the Healthcare Ethics as during your associate, that can get transferred in. And there's probably some other courses that could transfer in that might take the place of LIB 2020. So while they are required, if you have the appropriate courses that you have taken, you can transfer those in. Just to understand, if you've already taken the healthcare ethics course, and this is a question we get quite frequently, it's like, well, hey, I'd love to take a higher level healthcare ethics course. LAB 512 is really an entry into healthcare. The people that have taken it have really said it's like, because they were thinking it was a higher level ethics course, and really said that if they've already taken a healthcare course, you're not going to get anything additional out of it. There is also the respiratory care elective, which is RES 495, which is the respiratory care internship, and I'll talk about that next. And then just to kind of round it out, if you opt not to do the respiratory care internship, or you need to amp up and get some additional credits because you had less than that 72, there's a variety of electives that you can take, and then what happens is you and I will sit down and we'll figure out the courses you want to take, and you can pick one.
Keith, we do have one question in the Q&A, which comes from
Yes.
Tristan, and it's, can you get extra credit hours for specialty accreditations like NPS, ACCS, AEC? I could answer that at this point only if those if you have done courses that correspond to courses that we have as credits, could you get sort of credit for that, as far as I can tell?
Yeah, so actually that kind of leads into the internship question. So we can go to that and I'll probably answer that as well. So the internship, now understand this is not a required, this is an elective. You do not have to take this. But with the what the internship is it allows you to get additional training or in something that you'd like to be exposed to or like to to get into. So, for example, let's say you work on the adult side and the opportunity to orientate to the NICU-PICU side, right, or vice versa. You could use that training as part of your internship. Okay, we would, if you want to do your internship, we could sit down and figure that out. And one of the requirements of that might be to take your and pass your MPS credential or adult critical care credential or something along those lines. However, at this point, if you did have any of those additional credentials, we cannot take those and turn them into credits. You wouldn't be saying, oh, well, I've got, my neopeds, so can I waive this particular course? No, that is not the case. However, as part of the internship, that might be an expectation, but that's something we would talk about. Other opportunities that you could do, and again, really it's up to the individual student in discussion with the program director, me, if you were to do ECMO training or you were to want to do maybe a leadership management role or position or even an education. So an example would be, you could go to a local high school, a local college that had a respiratory program and work with them and maybe teach 1 or 2 units or modules, but you would be expected to really develop those modules, everything from coming up with the objectives, coming up with the PowerPoints, how you're going to assess them, if there's a lab component, how you're going to run the lab, things like that. So it kind of gives you a little experience or exposure if you want to do education. The thing to note is that if you want to do the internship, the total number of hours has to be at least 45 hours over the course of the semester. And you're like, oh my God, how am I going to do that? Well, most of you are, working full time. And if you were to get orientated for, let's say, the NICU-PICU, it might be a 1 or 2 week orientation. And if you're working 36 hours, well, 2 weeks right there is 72 hours. Boom, done. Right. So it's a nice, easy way to, to kind of to piggyback that. And again, you can take this at any point during your rotation, or I'm sorry, during your school here. The only thing I have to say is you really need to talk to me at least 1 to 2 semesters prior to, because we have to get some legal documents in place for us to do that. So Tristan, I hope that answers your question.
Is this one mine too? It is. I apologize. For some reason, my script didn't come. The program outcomes for the respiratory therapy program to demonstrate an understanding of education theory, curriculum development, assessment strategies, and instructional design in healthcare environment. The second outcome is demonstrate an understanding of leadership and management strategies used in the healthcare environment. The third outcome, utilize professionalism and communication skills to promote advancement in the profession. And the fourth is to analyze research on an advanced level for evidence-based practice and theory. This is an advanced degree in your profession, and these learning and program outcomes are designed so that you can advance your career related to that. All of the courses map to these particular outcomes so that we offer you multiple places in the curriculum to be able to develop these outcomes. Thanks, Keith.
Okay, so what is needed to apply to our program? Number 1, an associate's degree in respiratory therapy from a COARC approved program. And number 2, your current registered respiratory therapist credentials from the NBRC, and also your current state license. With all these documents, it will be very easy to apply. And the application for admissions is you would go to apply, you would go to our website, which is MCPHS, and you'd search our program, Respiratory Therapy, Bachelor's of Science, and simply click on the red apply button and complete a transfer application. We'll also need all your official transcripts from all your colleges and universities attended, as well as your RRT credentials. They can all be sent electronically to our admissions.online@mcphs.edu or by mail at MCPHS admissions office at 179 Longwood Avenue in Boston, Massachusetts, 02115. Additional details, it's free and very easy to apply. We have a rolling admissions. So after you apply, it only takes 1 to 2 weeks to hear back from our admissions committee. And deadlines for the 3 program dates are spring, which is a December 1st deadline. That program begins January 13th. The summer, which is an April 1st deadline with the start date of May 13th. And I just want to pause there for if anyone is aiming to target that summer courses, we would just need your application ASAP. There is still time to go ahead and apply for this program starting in the summer. We would just need that application or to notify us urgently, particularly by the end of the week. But we can look to try to accommodate that. And then also in the fall, which is an August 1st deadline with the start of the September 3rd date. Tuition is currently at $850 per credit hour, not including fees. Our fees our online students pay is the enrollment deposit, which is currently $500 and is applied to the first semester's tuition, so there's no loss there. And at times, books are needed depending on the courses. And then also just want to make a quick note that tuition is subject to change, so it's always best to refer to our website for the most important and up-to-date information about the tuition. Also, regarding financial aid, you can apply at FAFSA and add our school code, which is, I put it on here, 002165. Alternative ways to fund the programs, including applying for private student loans, using tuition reimbursement from your workplace, outside scholarships, payment plans, or other combinations of these. Funding is an important piece to take into consideration when looking for a program, but don't let it scare you. Remember, it's an investment in your future self and your career. As we mentioned, MCPHS was actually ranked number 3 for the return of investment, which just goes to show you that our students are doing well for themselves post-graduation. We have one of the lowest loan default rates in the nation, which is very encouraging. As you navigate this process and have questions, and don't hesitate to reach out. Our Student Financial Aid Service Department is just a phone call or an email away. You're welcome to schedule an appointment with our team. Just go to our website, again, the MCPHS, and type in the financial services and the link to all the names of our team members who can be there to help you.
And I just want to add regarding the tuition, there's also the opportunity to earn some scholarships through professional organizations. The ARC, ARCF, COARC, NBRC all have varying degrees of degree advancement scholarships, and they can be upwards of about $2,500. So you could get enough to almost pay for a 1 credit course or a 3 credit course, excuse me.
Thanks, Keith, for mentioning that. At this time, we'd like to take any questions and answers if anyone has. You can go ahead and ask some questions in the box. We'll just wait a minute for those. I'm also going to put our contact information here. Doesn't look like we have any questions right now. So with that, again, I'm going to put our contact information here. And this concludes our webinar tonight. And we want to thank everyone for attending. We have, again, as I said, we've included our contact information here. So please reach out if you have any further questions about our program. We really appreciate your time today, and we hope this was helpful as you plan your educational journey. Again, this recording will be sent out to you in another week or so. So again, these slides and all this information will be at your fingertips.
Thank you, everyone, for attending. We really appreciate it. And Tristan, thank you for the question.
And as we wrap up, just to note, if you do have a question or like to meet and talk with the program but some more, I'm happy to meet via Zoom. So you just have to shoot me an email and I'll gladly set up a Zoom meeting. We can talk more about the program if you have additional questions.
Thanks again, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.